Black Friday boycott unsuccessful as the mainstream media that is the arm of the Democratic Party when it comes to misinformation and disinformation led propaganda, excuse me, led propaganda to bait people into not celebrating the holidays the way they normally would. Welcome back to the Gregory Wright Show. We're going to get into some daggone clips that's going to eclipse anything that you've seen so far. Yeah, I may be a day late and a dollar short on reporting on the results of Black Friday, but I'm here to tell you I got the receipts, baby. And listen, think what you want to think, do what you want to do, but at the same time, it's like this: you want to stop buying the things you need. You you want to stop caring for the people you cared about all year long. You want to stop loving your family. You want to stop doing all these things to keep your family unit, keep your legacy going. Then you follow the Democrats. The Republicans, on the other hand, and I'm not talking about rhinos, I'm not talking about Republicans in name only. I'm talking about Ron Johnson. I'm talking about President Donald Trump. I'm talking about Secretary Secretary Marco Rubio. I'm talking about Vice President Vance. You know, all these American first individuals that are supporting the Trump administration in bringing prices down. Now, it's not going to happen overnight with groceries and gas. It's not going to happen overnight. There has to be a systematic approach to lowering prices across the board. And so I just want to, kind of get to some funny clips that I came across about the Black Friday blackout or boycott. And for those of you don't know what Black Friday is a chance for businesses across the board, across the industries, to get in the black, so to speak. Now, when you talk about budgets and fiscal years and everything like that, when you're talking about getting in the black, that's where your positive revenue is in the black. When you're operating in the red, that means that your fiscal or your books are operating at a loss. So I just want to be real clear what we talk about here. Black Friday is a chance for businesses to get in the black at the end of the year because they know people going to spend money on gifts and other things for their co-workers and their grandchildren and things like that. Like, finance new cars. Everybody benefits from Black Friday. Buy new weapons. Everybody benefits from Black Friday. But what do the Democrats want to do? As much as they want to do with keeping the government shut down, the Democrats want to do anything within their power to stifle, to roadblock, to gum up the progress of the President Trump administration in making this economy better. Because, by the way, we've seen the highest inflation during the Biden Harris years. Why not show a contrast? And so, without saying too much, let's kick it off.
Hey, is everybody on track?
Yeah,
Cause this Friday ain't black. Cause we ain't buying shit.
that's right.
We ain't buying shit.
Let me start that off again.
Hey, is everybody on track? Cause this Friday ain't black. Cause we ain't buying shit.
They ain't buying shit, huh?
We ain't buying shit. Well, I stand up and never quit. We ain't buying shit. From the 25th of November to the 5th of December. Remember, we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. This Friday ain't black. Cause we got each other's back. We ain't buying shit.
She got a good
We ain't
voice.
buying shit. We ain't buying. We ain't buying. We ain't buying shit.
I love it, boy. I love it. I love it. Let's play this joint real quick, huh?
Unless you work, unless you work here, it's closed. No, it's closed unless you work here.
Freestyle, freestyle, freestyle.
Because of the racist policies that this corporation has supplied with the Trump administration to support small businesses.
Unless you work here, it's closed. No, it's closed unless you work here.
Freestyle, freestyle.
Let's listen to this libtard right here. Right? Start the shit over again, right? Let's listen to this libtard right here with the colored hair. She looked like she's living in her mother's basement, totally complaining about the system that her parents use to put a roof over her head. Let's see what she has to say real quick.
Economic blackout, which means pulling all your money out from the system, not giving corporations any money from the 25th to the 2nd. That is the week of Black Friday. I know it sounds crazy, and I know it sounds like you don't want to do it, and I know it sounds inconvenient, but that's the whole point. Because these companies, they stock up on things, they spend extra money before the holiday season, specifically before Black Friday.
What's up with her nose ring, man? Comment down below real quick.
Because they expect to make a lot of revenue. Because Black Friday is hyped up to be this big thing where you'll save all this money. But you really don't. It's a scam, and we all know it. There will be a sign outside that says 80% off. You walk in, the only thing that's 80% off is some bullshit that no one wants. So just save yourself the time, save yourself the effort, and also protest. Peaceful protests do nothing when the people you're protesting don't have morals. They care about money. What this administration cares about is money. What these people care about is money. We don't give them money. During one of the times where
Alright, let's go to the next video here before I get into this. He looks like a veteran. So I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's all about the mindset. It doesn't matter what title you hold. It's all about your mindset. Now, I don't engage in Black Friday. I never have. You know, I wasn't the type to get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning and get on a line, stand in line from 3:30 in the morning to when the store opens. I've never done that, and I never will. I'll probably take advantage of Cyber Monday or go to Temu and really get the things that I need, provided that I'm not really worried about quality. I'll get recharge cords, I'll get USB cords from Temu, I'll probably get a sweater from Temu. But, you know, getting a smartphone or anything or any type of technology that you rely on operating from day to day, no, I'm not gonna get, because look, I use my cell phone to get on the bus that I use to commute to DC Monday through Friday. Right? If I have a cheap phone or it don't hold the signal, I'm not getting the signal to get to the app to have me pay to get on the bus. So, I'm not chancing it like that. But let's see what he got to say though.
The people that we vote into office are called representatives for a reason, because they're supposed to represent us and our interests. That's what we're hiring them for with our vote. And despite the fact that we delivered sweeping wins for Democrats across the country last week, 8 Democrats who aren't up for
Except
re-election
for
in
Tennessee.
2026, I might add, betrayed and crossed the line and voted to end the shutdown. 42 million Americans going hungry without SNAP benefits. Millions and millions of Americans about to have their healthcare premiums skyrocket because of this mess. And if Democrats aren't going to do it, then we'll do it ourselves. We know that fascists cannot exist on their own. They need the support of corporations and institutions. And we can make the cost of supporting Donald Trump simply too high. We can vote with our wallets for corporations that have been either complicit or silent while all this went on. And we have an opportunity to tell these companies exactly what we think by boycotting Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Remember how Target rolled back their DEI initiatives, which included ending programs that help Black employees advance, cutting financial support for Black-owned businesses, and removing LGBTQ plus products from their stores. I guess they don't need our business, and you shouldn't give it to them. Then there's Home Depot, which is allowing ICE agents to illegally detain and kidnap laborers from their stores. The laborers in our communities are not able to look for work safely. Don't support that. And Amazon, do I even have to tell you how evil Amazon is? Jeff Bezos gave $1 million to this administration. He paid toward the inauguration party. He also is paying toward that giant ballroom that's being built. Don't support this. This is the rise of authoritarianism in America, and the Trump regime is trying to consolidate power. And by sending a message with our wallets, we can help undermine that. So shop local, shop from small businesses, but don't support.
All right, so you get the point, right? Here is a report from Breitbart radio, TV, or whatever the case is. I have a tendency of following conservative news media because I am conservative, and it doesn't do me any good to follow or read publications that are contrary to my beliefs. Now, I will do that for content creating purposes, but I'm not doing it now. Here's what Breitbart has to say. Black Friday spending surges past forecast. So, despite all the fear mongering and high taxes and things like that, I mean, we're talking about, they are fear mongering. The media is fear mongering on the fact that they're against everything that Trump does, right? Even if it helps the country, even if it helps the United States of America, right? Tariffs over the last 40, 50 years study, there's a paper out there that says tariffs benefit nations that are imposing the tariffs. Because if tariffs didn't work, why would other nations around the world charge the United States tariffs? Right? This video is not about tariffs. It's about the fear mongering that the mainstream media has over the United States public in spewing misinformation, disinformation about things that Trump is doing to help America. Despite the high prices, despite the tariff fears, despite the narco boat missile strikes and things like that, Black Friday spending surges past forecasts, capping strong holiday kickoff, is what the article leads with. Black Friday sales exceeded expectations. Despite this bullshit, blackout, boycott of Black Friday. See, I would have put that in my article if it was my article. Black Friday sales exceeded expectations with shoppers spending heavily both online and in stores, and a sign that Americans retain considerable purchasing power heading into the final stretch of the year. Overall, retail sales, excluding automotive, rose to 4.1% from last year, according to the MasterCard Spending Pulse, surpassing the prior year's 3.4% growth and landing near the high end of forecast. The data, which tracks both in person and online transactions, isn't adjusted for inflation, suggests the holiday shopping season is off to a robust start. It clearly shows that the consumer has the ability to spend, Michelle Meyer, chief economist at the MasterCard Economic Institute, told Bloomberg News. The strong performance across multiple channels underscores consumers' willingness to open their wallets despite headwinds that prompted caution among some forecasters. Online sales jumped 10.4%, while in store purchases rose 1.7%. The article goes on to read strength was broad based across categories. Apparel climbed 5.7%, with online sales up 6.1% and in store purchases gaining 5.4%, according to the experts. Jewelry rose, and we can go on and on and on. But the point is that you have real journalists doing real investigative work into the different topics that forms and shapes your opinion about President Trump and his current administration. And the Democrats who are willing to work with the Republicans to pass legislation that helps the American people. And so, my name's Greg Wright, and I really appreciate your time tonight joining me on this live stream. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.